Hey, Productively Speaking here. How you doing, guys? Hope you're doing well. Let's go straight into 3 different particular layouts that you can use in Notion 2.2 today that's going to make your individual workspace be absolutely fantastic. First of all, let's go into the weekly planner that I've set up. This has come from a blank page itself. We've added in the cover at the top to give a little bit of an autumn theme here, and you can change that throughout depending on how you want to do that. It does give you the graphic preferences of 1500 pixels on the width, and providing you do that, you'll get a nice little image. Now below, obviously, I have a little quote, a little bit of a moving graphic there which you can add in via the images itself, and then here's the overall layout. So I've split things out into a 7-day week and just added those in as subheader 2s with dividers, and then move the layout with the blocks here so you can adjust that accordingly. Then I've used the to-do list function afterwards so you can add some particular task in on the fly, /to-do list, and then add in whatever you want. So I'm just going to add one in there for the vets on Monday. To hone that down a little bit further, you can use a different key code system here. That's what I've done here. So red is work, purple chores, green recreation, pink family, blue personal goals, green entertainment, and yellow is a diary entry because we keep a diary entry. Just to show that in a different format, say you've got a week off work or you're planning a holiday, you can use a similar type function with a slight variance to get the same results. So as you'll be able to see between the two, and I'll make this as quick as possible, the key areas outside of the 7-day week is the rollover to the next week. So perhaps you didn't complete any tasks of that week, but you still need to do them. You throw them into this section, and then on a Monday you move them out and then plan them into the week accordingly. Queued is perhaps some work tasks or some things that you have got on but don't necessarily know when you're going to do them yet. You can throw them in the queued section. And if you do want a historical look at how productive you have been on a day-to-day basis, you can throw in a failed section, and you can keep a week view of what you've not managed to get done for that week, but it wasn't something you didn't necessarily need to do. So the slight variance to that, if you were, for instance, planning something, is using this queued area or the rollover to next week's space as an idea pool. So this started off with nothing. It's just the idea pool itself with different things to do for my week off that I'm currently on here this week, and throwing those ideas down onto a board and then moving those different to-dos into the different days of the week. So that's layout 1, using a almost bullet journal style within Notion itself and making it digital to give you ultimate control of what you want to do on a week-to-week focus. Next up is a watch list. Now, everyone loves a little bit of TV, and whether that be films or just a TV series, it can be a little bit of a boggle to keep up to date with what you've been watching, what you've enjoyed watching, and what you want to plan to watch in the future. And the way we've done this, we've just done a 4-column row, similar to what we did there with the week planner, but we've just separated it into 4 simple columns and split it out in between TV and films itself. Now, on my want to watch list, I added particular web bookmarks, which you'll get those graphics previews to be able to look at. And then I just did a simple list view for films I've watched, particularly that year. And you can do the same for TV series as well. So as you can see, I've just given them a little bit of a rating system. That's my personal preference. Thrown up that little custom graphic there. And as you can see, I made a little icon there that's movie related. It just gives you a very nice 1-page spread of the stuff that you've been watching for 2018, and I might make a watch list for 2019, or just keep everything all in one particular spread. So that's my layout 2 function there for you. Moving on then to layout 3, and this is particularly my favorite. It's taking the standardized calendar view, which is available within Notion itself as a particular, as a default. You've got a default calendar here that you can add when you add a new page into Notion itself. And what we've done is we've expanded upon that and really utilized it on a day-to-day basis. So in here, I particularly just pick certain items that are interesting, that are coming up, and add them as cards with no rich media added in. But then if I do my daily diary entries, I have the ability to add extra metadata in there for stuff that I want to track. So as you'll be able to see at a glance here, I'm tracking my weight because I'm vastly overweight at the moment, and I plot that in with those different particular records. And I'm also using the iconing system here, so if I've had a particular interesting day, I'll put a little lightning mark on there, and that will be something that I can go back to and say, this is a great day to go and look back on. Let's throw just a little pointer there, an icon pointer, so that I can go back and look at that. So, looking into this card in particular, how do we set this out in a blog style format? Because Notion itself comes with a blog template. However, I find it quite restrictive because if you are creating different blog entries, it puts it in that page format instead of that nestled calendar view. And because calendars have cards on them, you can get that rich media all in one contained space, which makes it so great for adding diary entries. So let's load up a particular entry to just show you an idea of what that looks like. So let's go into one of the ones here. So I'm loading up an entry on the day that we got Dante, who's a puppy, and you'll be able to see there the overview of the layout. So as you go into one of these cards, you can add your covers, and I potentially just go onto pixabay.com and just grab an image that really kind of depicts that day and put that as the broad over cover view. I'll change the icon if it's a particularly interesting day, otherwise I'll keep it as default. And then there's some interesting markers here. You can add properties into the top of the card that you might want to see at glance something you're tracking. So one of the things that I was tracking there is my weight, so I add an entry there and I'll be able to see it. Going into the rich media, as you'll be able to see, you can go straight into this edit area, and I'll just create a new card and show you what I mean. So you've got an edit page content here. I create that, and that's where that entry comes from. So just loading that up again. As you can see, we're just blogging it as normal, writing down the day itself, and just adding in different images with the / image card there, and you can resize to however big or small that you want that image, and you can add captioning in too, which is something that I like to do, and just fan out the day and really show that on a day-to-day basis of how that looks. And then to get a broader view of what's been happening in the world, I throw in a divider and add the news story of the day, and that's just a simple, basically a paste of a link and creating a bookmark there to create that nice organized view of that particular news story. So those are just 3 different types of layout techniques available that you can do on Notion with just a little bit of tweaking, and I think they are superb. I use them on a day-to-day basis, and they're a little bit different to some of the other videos that I've seen here on YouTube. So hopefully you found them interesting, and I'll be looking at new layout ideas too as well, because today 2.2 of Notion came out with a audio embed functionality, and they've got a brand new gallery style option on there as well. So you can almost create your own Pinterest board, which is great for perhaps a buy list, for instance, that I've got here, but I want to kind of shake up the view of that and take that to the next step, and I probably will use that Pinterest style gallery view that they've added today. Don't forget to hit the like button, and if you check out the description, maybe you've not heard of Notion before, there is a redeemable code in the description where you can get automatically monthly credit to save on your subscription, and it gives me perhaps a month's worth of free Notion myself for every referral that signs up. You actually get a better deal using that link in the description than what it would be if you went onto the website yourself and signed up individually, because it gives you $10 of credit. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.